Good day, and I love you, and welcome to, it's Monday, July 7th. Today's the first day of the rest of your life. Now, the goal was to be officially starting to drip with honey, being all done up, clean, and in cute little clothes, all honeyfied. You know, because honey bee done, not so much Heather. Well, we kind of in the middle. We're in the transitional phase. You get to see me reconstructing, recalibrating, because I ain't all there yet. I am not clean. For those new to the village, it's so funny, I am not clean. I'm clean and sober, but my body is not exactly clean right now. I work from home, so I usually do the hugest chunk of work first thing in the day before I get cleaned up and go out. So you get these videos often wearing the same house clothes for a few days before I turn them in, wash them, and get a new set. So I just feel the need to disclose that. If you're like, why is she always in the same clothes? That's what's up. Okay, so you got to break down to break through. I've already had this convo with 3 of you in here today, and that's how I know it's right on time. Uranus has officially moved into Gemini. We haven't had this transit since 1941. So the only people on Earth right now who have experienced this transit are really, really old. This makes for the 3rd outer planet to change signs in just the last few months. And so these are really evolutionary times. This is really, really changing the energy on Earth. For those who are glued to the 3D construct of the way things are, and the 3D ego construct of this is who I am, and this is how it be, and this is how we do things, it's going to get really, really challenging. I was thinking about how I mentioned on a video I made the other day that I go walk my dog at this place, and where I walked my dog there was a young man in his car. And so in classic Heather form, you know, I'm just like, hey, how you doing? And he's like, hey, how are you? And I just talk to everybody. So the other day I rolled up with a bowl of soup, and I was like, hi, my name is Heather. I have a bowl of soup for you. And he was like, thank you. And I'm like, you're welcome. It's not warm though, so you might want to put it in the sunshine. And I didn't say too much other than that. I said, I love you. I hope you have a good day. And he looked at me and he said, I love you. And I always notice how people respond to that. And he looked me right in the eye and told me he loved me. So yesterday I went to the grocery store, and upon leaving the grocery store I bought a hot meal. And it was funny because I'm a Yankee, y'all, okay? Actually, I'm a everything. I was raised in the military, so we hopped all over. But down here they call me a Yankee because I'm not a Southern girl, all right? Although I'm becoming one when I be in, honey. So, you know why? Because you can say things like this, but you can't say like this. You can be like, do you fucking know that blah, blah, blah? But when you're like, do you even know that the bullshit you're talking is whack? People are like, did she just say that? And you're like, I did. But when I say it like this, they're like, yo, she's trying to fight. So anyway, here we go. So I left the grocery store. I'm sorry. I got a hot plate, and I got safe Southern food. I got green beans, macaroni and cheese, and chicken. I was like, everybody likes that, unless you're vegan like me. And but I figured he wasn't. Let me stay on track. I'm so ridiculous right now. Okay. I'm very aware of how I'm speaking and thinking. Most people, and most times, we're not. So it makes for an interesting interface and go-between when I'm this present speaking with other people. Because I'm aware of what I'm thinking and processing, and there's like 5 streams going on there, and I only pick one that comes out my mouth. That's awesome. So what I was thinking right there is stop calling yourself ridiculous. If you can't say something nice, don't say shit. My mama used to say that, only without the bad language. She used to say, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. My mama was a practitioner of the law of attraction before we even knew we had the law of attraction. She'd tell you if you couldn't say something nice, you had to keep your mouth shut. And she'd tell you had to smile at the grocery store clerk because you didn't know what she was going through, going home to. And you might be the only smile she had. Yeah, good advice from mama. All right, so. And then I picked up a little pint or liter or whatever it was of sweet tea. Which I was like, I think that's, you know, that's like a safe Southern thing. I don't drink that mess, but Southerners do. So, I roll up to this kid and I'm like, hey, I'm back. And he's like, hey, you're back. So I said, what's your name? And he tells me. I said, well, my name's Heather. I think I already told her my name. I usually walk up and go, hi, my name's Heather. And just like a little kid. I was little and new on a lot of playgrounds when I was a kid. And if I didn't walk up and introduce myself, you didn't make friends. You know what I mean? My mom used to say, bloom where you're planted. And you had to walk up and be like, hi, I'm Heather. Otherwise, that shit sucked. It still sucked like that. But anyway, I guess I've had a lot of experience here is what I'm processing. So, I said, I got some stuff for you. And it was cute because I said, because I asked him the other day, are you eating enough? And he was like, yeah, some people, like there's been some older ladies who have also seen him, and so they're feeding him, I think, is what I understand. So I pulled the sweet tea out the bag and I said, you drink this mess? And he goes, ma'am? And I said, do you drink this mess? And I said, I'm a Yankee. Like that. And he goes, oh, yes, ma'am, I drink it. And I said, well, then this is for you as well. So I handed him the stuff, and then I said, are you sober? And he goes, ma'am. And I said, do you have a problem with drugs and alcohol? And he said, oh, no, ma'am. I don't have an issue like that. I don't have any issue like that. I just have some stuff going on in my home. And I said, oh, all right. I said, I'm asking because I'm a recovering addict and alcoholic, and if you needed a meeting, I'll take you. And he was like, oh, no, ma'am. I got this going on. I said, all right, then. And I said, well, I'm going to give you my number. He said, my phone's not working. And I said, well, if you can use WhatsApp, if you can get the internet. And he's like, really? And I said, yeah. And he didn't know that. So I gave him my number, we exchanged numbers, and I went on my way. Well, later last night, I wanted to take the dog on a walk, and I have all these places, but I chose to go there. So I told my son, I was like, come on, we're going on a walk. You're going to go meet so-and-so. So we went and pulled up next to this kid, and I said, hey, you want to walk with us? And he's like, I think I do. And I was like, well, join us. So we walked around for quite a while and chatted about his circumstances, and it was so cool because he ended up telling me about his childhood, and he is in the exact same circumstances right now as when he came to the earth. He is in a repeat generational dynamic that his father and his mother were in, and he gets to choose something different. And so I was telling him, I said, you know, sometimes you got to break down to break through. I said, your circumstances right now seem so shitty and so bleak, but if anything, you might be getting more prepared for the chaos that's coming in the world, because right now his 3D construct of how things should be is broken. He cannot fall back on, I'm not supposed to be living in my car, and it's supposed to, like, that's not what he pictured. That's not the way it's supposed to be. It's wrong. And that's what I was saying to him. Human finite analysis, experience, and thinking deems things right or wrong, and usually they're right or wrong based on our familiarity, the comfort level, and our expectation, and that's about it, okay? And if we're comfortable, we've done it before, and we expect a good outcome, then it's right. If we're not comfortable, we've never done it before, and we're not too sure what to expect on the other side, then it's wrong. Well, that doesn't leave much room for evolution, does it? That doesn't leave much room for change, does it? So what if we reframed that whole deal and understood that it's always right, because we're on an earth that forces adaptation under a higher power that is present, gifting, play with the words, is present, gifting at any given second. Well, then you're being gifted. You're being gifted the present circumstances. And so if I can decide that everything in my present is a gift from Creator, then my job becomes changing my perspective to match what's in front of my face. If I think it's wrong, what do I have to change to think it's right? If I'm sleeping in my car right now and I'm saying this is wrong, well, maybe this is the essential step where I am evolving and changing and recalibrating my familial energy to go take it to the next level. And since Uranus is in Gemini, it's taking the most direct route of recalibration. It's breaking me down to break me through. It's putting me on the elevator and taking me straight up. It doesn't care if I get a nosebleed. I tell you guys this all the time. Uranus does not care if you get a nosebleed on the way to the highest floor. Uranus is like, elevate! Most direct route. Most direct. Not most comfortable. Not most familiar. Not the one that you are ensured of the outcome. Most direct route for evolution. That's what time it is on Earth right now. And so since this energy is so fast and so direct and so intense, you need to insulate your body and ensure your conductivity. How do we do that? We do that by putting our feet on the ground every day. We make sure we eat every 2.5 to 3 hours. We get enough water, and we get movement and nature. Get your ass outside, get your feet on the ground today. Listen to God's creation. Let the sun get on your skin. Drink enough water. Start setting an alarm to have a snack every 2.5 to 3 hours. So you are eating something every 2.5 to 3 hours to balance your blood sugar. And move your ass. Yes. Those basic things will create natural insulation in your conductive vessel. You are an energetic being of multidimensional frequencies manifesting in a body of water, an interstellar cosmic creature capable of every feature more amazing than you ever knew. That's a song I taught my son when he was 5, so he would understand what he is. And that's what you are. So, for today, understand that everything is truly brand new. And if you are trying to analyze, evaluate, and expect things to come out of the circumstances and situations as they have before, you are remiss at best. There's a hummingbird. I can hear it. I put a feeder out. I'm waiting for her. At best, you know nothing. And if we have no expectations of how it'll come out, and we just show up to play, then we bring the gift of our presence. Hi, I'm present. I'm ready to play. How can I be of service? How can I plug in? Not, hi, I'm ready to play. I'm ready to be of service. I understand it's going to come out this way. I'm only going to play if it's comfortable, and I'm only going to do the part I've done before. No. Authentic, hi, I'm here to play. I've never done this before. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm really excited to get in it. Wherever we end up will be right. Okay? That's how you bring your best self forward today. That's how you bring your best harmony. And that's also how you make the biggest drop in the bucket for all of humanity today. Do the do so you can be who you want to be. You can't go change everybody else. But if you can set your own space of calm, safe, stable, beautiful, harmonious well-being inside, you will radiate that vibration to everything around you. And then you'll be like me. You'll be sitting down and little creatures will stop popping up and crawling on you, and there'll be a lizard on you, and then there'll be something else on you, and all these things will start, and then you'll see the rabbit, and then the hawk lands. And it's pretty freaking magical. So, our card for today, show up and love on your tribe. In every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking and the energy of love. All right. This is Monday. I love you.